Hello. So I'm going to be talking through the engagement strategy for the redbook. I think some of you may have seen a very similar presentation at the ALIP conference, but there's a kind of shift in emphasis this time to actually look at our engagement strategy, and then there's a kind of chance to answer questions afterwards. So for those of you who are parents, you're probably familiar with the sort of paper redbook version. But for those of you who aren't, it's actually a kind of physical paper record that's given out by NHS staff on the birth of your first child. And it acts as a record of all your child's kind of health and development data, kind of immunisation records as well. And it's fit for purpose. It's been around for sort of over 10 years, but I think because it's actually a physical book, eventually it kind of gets lost or gets put in a cupboard and sort of forgotten about, and we can really see that usage drops after the first 6 months. So what we're involved with in Year Zero is digitising this and turning it into an actual digital kind of clinical record that will be used both by parents and healthcare professionals. I think beyond this as well, we obviously want it to become a sort of clinical personal health record, but I think it's a much bigger opportunity for this to actually become a sort of go-to resource for all new parents, so that rather than it's something that they take out and use when they've just got a specific appointment, it's actually a kind of content-rich resource that they're using on a regular basis. Whenever they've got a sort of query or a concern, this is where they'll go. They'll go to the redbook. I've actually got a video to play just to sort of bring this to life.
Child healthcare is about to be revolutionised in a project that brings the personal child health record into the 21st century.
The e-redbook is an online digital version of the existing hard copy redbook that all new parents get.
When I first heard about the e-redbook, I thought, what a fantastic idea. It was so exciting to hear that that was being produced.
Alongside the traditional paper version, every new parent in the pilot regions will have access to the e-redbook.
People who are in the 20s and the 30s now have grown up with technology, and they expect to be able to have much more of an interaction with health professionals.
Having a digital version means that when I'm on the go and I can come back home, I can update the book easily, all online.
It's important that we make things as easy for people as possible, and we use technology to allow people to interact with us.
If you give people their own health records, one, they take care of them, and two, it makes them much more involved in their own health. And the hope is the health outcomes for that child or that person are improved.
Opening up the project to the whole of the UK would introduce the tool into the lives of over 750,000 new babies every year.
A lot more easier than the actual redbook, because it's just there on your phone. You've always got your phone.
It just makes life that much easier. I don't have to worry about where's the pen, where's the redbook. It's there straight away, ready to use.
As well as recording vital health information, the e-redbook reminds parents of important appointments, allows personal events and photos to be added, and can be shared with family members, friends and health professionals at the simple click of a button.
It's going to change the way people think about the health service.
It's one of those things that you think, why has nobody thought of doing this before?
So I think as the video demonstrates, it's a really, really valuable resource for not just parents, but the healthcare and the NHS as well. But I think from our research with parents and speaking to them, there's actually a kind of bigger need, which is they kind of really need access to trusted and reliable information. Obviously, kind of having an ongoing access to this kind of clinical data probably throws up lots of questions, like kind of the context. So if you know that your child's perhaps slightly in the lower percentile for growth for their age, it just throws up a whole host of questions. You know, what does this mean? What can I do to kind of rectify the situation? Should I be worried? Who should I speak to? And I guess at the moment you can go to Dr. Google, but I think there's kind of concerns about perhaps the reputation of that information, and we could provide one destination where parents can go to and know that there's a reliable source of information. That's kind of our ambition with this. So we were trying to think about what parents will value and what their needs are alongside having access to this kind of clinical data. Well, I think there's sort of 4 really key areas. There's reassurance, so being able to actually benchmark the statistics and having access to professional information to give kind of meaning to your child's development data. Then there's information, so wanting to know sort of what's best for my child. Inspiration, I think this is a really key area that perhaps sometimes is forgotten about, but actually kind of new ideas to try, what should I expect next? If your child's having problems sleeping, well, it's inspiration, what other things that can I try? And then support, so we don't just want to give them access to healthcare professionals, but actually provide a community where they can speak to their peers and other parents and discuss perhaps similar issues that people are facing. And I think looking at all these 4 needs, you can really clearly see how content is the opportunity to kind of answer these questions. So our approach is to build a sort of content-rich platform that's going to sit alongside and around the actual clinical app. And I guess what the benefits of taking this approach is that by taking in a sort of engagement model, you're actually really going to increase the time that people are spending on the platform. So as I was sort of saying before, that obviously people will be using this much more frequently because every time they've got a query or concern, they'll be going to the platform. But then by having a whole host of content, that could be videos, articles, editorials, apps, you're actually increasing the amount of time that people are going to spend with the eRedbook on a sort of regular basis. And then, in addition to that, you're obviously then making this a more valuable proposition. But if you want to approach kind of commercial partners or brands to perhaps come on board, what brands really look for is being able to understand that they've got an avid and engaged audience that are going to be on this platform, and then making sure that there's opportunities for them to kind of build their messages in. So I just wanted to take you through our current strategy for how we're going to build a sort of engagement platform to sit alongside the eRedbook clinical app. So this is taking an example here of sort of Johnny, and there's 4 really clear sections across the top, and our idea is that all the content when you arrive and you log in will be personal and tailored to your child. So you'll be served information that's relevant to your child's age and the stage of development they're at the moment. Then we can tailor with specific messages and specific reminders, because this is going to be shared with healthcare professionals as well. So whenever you log in, you'll be reminded of your next appointment, any immunisation jabs that you need to book in. So if you go through to the actual health record, this will be password protected, and we're building it with Microsoft Health Vault, so that there'll be no need for parents to sort of worry that this information will be shared any wider than this login details here. And then when you go to the advice section, this is the area that sort of we're really excited about. But this is where you'll be able to go through and see all the information that's relevant for Johnny at the stage he is in at the moment. So this will be videos, articles, all against the kind of key development themes. So health, development, routine, playtime, sort of any sleep problems, tantrums and behaviour, learning, all tailored to Johnny at the age he is at the time. Symptom checker. So we want to work through our partners, make sure that we're actually providing kind of tools for parents as well. So this is an opportunity for kind of more of the moment advice. So if you have a specific problem you need to check there and then, this is where you go to. You go to the eRedbook to get reputable and trusted information direct from health professionals. I think sometimes something that we sometimes forget about is actually making sure that this is kind of personal, that parents have a sort of emotional investment in this product as well. I think that's the best way to increase engagement. So allow them to create their own record of Johnny as well in this example. So upload your own UGC, your own photos, so that you can have a record not just of Johnny's sort of clinical development, but also memories as well. And this is something that you'll then want to share with kind of friends and family and be able to reflect back upon. And then a chat forum, so it's really, really important that you make sure this has a kind of sense of community and parents are able to have support from their peers. So be able to set up chat forums so that parents can go in and talk about specific issues, and again then you're increasing the chance that they'll kind of regularly come in and use this platform, because it's not just static, it's going to dynamically be updated. And I just wanted to sort of end with our vision for this platform really. So by making sure that we're kind of growing and retaining an audience, we're hoping to reach over 2 million parents within 5 years of launch. And this is then sort of really, really exciting opportunity, as Richard was talking about, for us to then go and be able to speak to brand partners, because we can demonstrate that we've got a massive scalable audience. And then through this content platform, there's kind of multiple ways that brands can start to engage and be involved in the conversations that are taking place. So they could create content, they could be involved within the chat forum, they could enable parents to kind of build and amplify their memories, milestones. There's lots of opportunities, and that's when it becomes a really exciting conversation for us to go and have with brand partners. So that's all for me. I think